Good afternoon. Welcome to Doctorpreneurs, where we speak with doctors and professionals in the healthcare field who are looking to make innovative and exciting changes through entrepreneurship. I am Cliff Oxford, founder and CEO of the Oxford Center, and I'm here with my co-host Clint Garrett. Clint, welcome back to the show.
Great to be back, thanks.
We're kicking off the show with what we like to call Doctors in Action. A big part of the Oxford Center is comprised of doctors and healthcare professionals who are building medical enterprises. And we have two of them with us here today. Dr. Dina Giesler with Atlanta Smiles and Wellness. I remembered the wellness part because you reminded me that's a big part of your practice. And I'm also over here with Linda Duxbury with 2U Medical. Linda, I want to call your company House Calls because you go straight to the home.
We're a modern rendition of the old-fashioned house call.
All right,
Back
very
to the
good.
future.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting to it. Also with me here is Willie Mayberry, Senior Vice President of Business Banking with PNC. He's going to talk with us about how we finance all these great entrepreneurial activities and how PNC Bank can be a great partner. Now, how does wellness play into the dental office?
Well, you know, we see our patients typically twice a year. And so, you know, a lot of patients don't go see their doctor unless they're sick. And obviously for years, you know, doctors are not paid to, you know, prevent disease. We're really paid to treat disease. So because our patients, you know, are pretty much healthy, we want them to be even more healthy. So if somebody comes in and they've got 20 cavities, I'm not just gonna fill those cavities. I wanna know why they have those 20 cavities. Or if they weigh 350 pounds, you know, it doesn't matter if they've got a broken back tooth, they've got high blood pressure, they need to get to a physician immediately. So
as an independent dentist, and you're one of the few that's left where you're part of your own practice, you started it, and is that how you're differentiating yourself out there? I mean, get into away from the medical into the business terms. You're differentiating yourself from all the other dentists. There's a lot of dentists in Atlanta, and your practice is done very well. Is that part of it?
Well, yeah, and I did a residency at the Oklahoma Medical Center, and I was actually trained to be a hospital dentist, so to treat sick, compromised people. All right, my husband's an oncologist, so you know, medical is just kind of in my blood. I mean, I think a lot of times people think of dentists as just a tooth doctor.
Well, I'm hearing that dentists, there was a big decision by the Georgia Dental Board where dentists now is giving Botox.
Right.
Now,
well, and everybody's giving Botox right now,
so,
including the OBGYNs and everybody.
Well, is that getting to cross-selling the customer? And I'm going to announce some terms here that are usually referred to in business, but I think these entrepreneurial doctors are saying, you know what, since you're in the chair and you're leaning back and you're working on the teeth, could I go ahead and give you a shot of Botox while you're out?
Actually, the Botox thing, I mean, the patients came to us. Can you give me Botox while I'm here?
Yeah, I mean, who better to
know the facial anatomy?
the shotgun facial.
We took head and neck anatomy a lot longer than the medical students did.
Okay, Willie, as a financier and as a banker, are you financing independent dental practices today? Is that something that the bank would see, hey, yes, we're going to put a young resident right out of the hospital into practice. Is that possible today?
Absolutely. I think, you know, with PNC Bank, we have a focus on the healthcare industry. In Atlanta, the industry is doing very well. So for us, the important piece of the equation for a young student coming out of college, the ideal situation would be to get experience within the field with an experienced doctor practice. But once you're established in that and have a client base that you want to start your own practice, I think PNC does a great job in looking at that client base as a revenue stream and identifying the opportunity to finance not only that practice and the revenue generated from that, but also every aspect, you know, included, be it the building that you want to purchase, the equipment that goes into that practice. I think from start to finish, we can provide all of the solutions that will allow that doctor to function properly.
And I want to bring it over to Linda Duxbury with 2U Medical. How does this impact house calls?
Nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, we're healthcare providers. We're considered mid-level providers. We're filling in the gap. Our system is inundated. There are more people utilizing the system now, so interactions are shorter. Reimbursements are down. If you're going to make the numbers work, you have to see more people in a day. It's about quantity, not quality. So really, the impetus behind starting this was to improve patient-provider interactions. Let's not only deal with the problem at hand, but let's step back. Let's look at the lifestyle, look at promoting wellness. That's huge right there. I mean, if we can all spread the message of wellness, we can have a really healthy society. We can change our culture.
How are you going to leverage that? I mean, it takes so many people to go out one-on-one, but I guess you would have to look at also, if you go to the emergency room, how much does it cost to go to the emergency room? It's several $1,000s.
Sure.
So does that make your house call more competitive?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, and two, not
Absolutely.
just the cost of that house call, but the savings and cost for the customer. But for you as a business, I'm sorry, I'm coming from the financial end of this. So it's where are the margins? It would seem like in some ways you might, with the fuel costs and labor costs, insurance. How does that work for your margins?
Well, overhead is extremely low. Everyone that works with me is an independent contractor. I mean, I've got bookkeeper assistant. There's a few people that are key to the inner workings of the practice, but everyone else is an independent contractor.
So you don't have that massive overhead cost of a big fancy office and all the equipment.
Yep.
Okay.
Part of the Oxford Center is know, grow, and exit. And exit is an important part of knowing
Sometimes
and
the
growing.
most important part is the exit.
I see many times entrepreneurs will mess it up in the end game. They'll do everything right, and then they go to exit, and that's a journey in itself. So what is your exit plans? I'm going to put you on the spot, Dr. Giesler.
I love what I do, and I think when you're passionate with what you do, you want to keep working. I think it's very smart to have a plan, and it may be a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, but some type of a plan that, I could not just sell my practice to a corporation or just somebody right out of school, because I'm the goodwill, where you're the goodwill. That's, so you have to do that slowly.
Well, your business is like your baby. You build it. You don't want to just send it off to anyone.
What is your exit plan? You started a business.
I did.
It's growing rapidly. So what's your exit plan?
I've always had just big hopes and dreams for 2U Medical. So my exit strategy is to my hope is to create a brand of concierge medicine that's mid-level driven.
Clint and Willie, I'll ask both of you. With a person exiting their business, what is the key things? Give me the most important thing they should remember.
Don't rush to do anything right away. You get that big flux of money, and a lot of times people feel an immediate need that they've got to do something. They've got to change, or they've got to go find an advisor or investor. And I would say first, sit down, really assess what changes are going to be now in your life, because it's a major change, especially for entrepreneurs. You've spent your whole life building that business, and that's really been your life. And if that's been sold off now, you've got to really look and examine what are going to be these new steps I'm going to take in life, and take the time to plot that out first before you make any rush decisions with that money. That money's not going anywhere. There's no reason to rush to put it to work somewhere and possibly regret that later.
It is in your best interest to, as you're creating success and wealth for yourself, to have those conversations early with a bank or someone that can provide you that expertise to understand what it looks like to take to the next step. But to the point of exiting, to your comment earlier, absolutely want to have that conversation, create the game plan, something that PNC does exceptionally well, I believe, as well.
A big message we give entrepreneurs is this: after a big win or a big loss, don't make any major decisions.
Right.
Because after a big win, we think we're invincible and we know everything, and that does not usually lead to great decision making. Thank you very much. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back, and we're going to have Dr. Edward Schrader, president of Brenau University, here to talk with us about the school's outstanding education and healthcare programs. Thank you.